everyone. It's April with April Rising, and today I felt it put on my heart that I talk about music a little bit. And some of you may know me as Cadence through my music releases and through different commercials and movies that I've been on or produced and directed. And I wanted to kind of back up and explain to you how that came about and kind of where my life was, and maybe it will resonate with you some and how maybe music speaks to you. um, when I was about 7 years old, my home life got really, really ugly. It was probably the pinnacle of ugly in that time frame. My parents were fighting constantly all night long. My dad was coming home from bars after they closed, and my mom was taking his dinners and throwing them out on his cars or outside or whatever it was, and he was coming home drunk, and I think she was probably accusing him of whatever it was. And all I remember as a 7, 8 year old child is that I was barely getting any sleep because I could hear my parents arguing all night long. And to help that, I would go to bed in my clothes. So I'd put my school clothes on the night before. I would sleep in them so I could just save some time in the morning when everybody was finally asleep, so I could just get a little bit extra sleep before I had got myself up, got ready for school, made my lunch, and hiked up to the bus stop to get to school and get out of the house. So naturally, what happened in that time is my concentration at school was going down. I wasn't the excellent student that I was before. I wasn't reading all the books that I was supposed to be reading. Things were starting to decline at a fast rate. I remember the teachers were asking my parents, "Hey, has anything changed at home? Because, she's really normally a really great student up here, and we're noticing a drop in things." And of course, back in the 80s, early 90s, nobody wanted anybody in their business. And so it was always, "Oh, no, everything's fine, everything's cool." And honestly, to this day, my parents still say everything's fine and nothing happened. So what I did as a third grader is I found music, and I found it at school. And I didn't really know anything about choir. I didn't know anything about any of that until then. And I found out that I loved music. I loved the escape that it gave me. And I was singing in the car earlier with some Christmas songs with my son, and I was remembering and I was reminiscing, and it was crazy how many thoughts came back into my body just by hearing those songs, because they're timeless songs, right? And I just recall how much time and effort I put into going into choir. In the third grade, I was already giving up that precious recess time just so I could go into the choir area, practice for choir, do whatever I had to do to just learn how to sing and learn how to read music. And, eventually I learned how to play an instrument that does me no good now. It's a different story. But music became my outlet. It became my safe place. Music became that place where I could just turn it on at home and I could hear nothing else. I could get lost in learning the beats to it and get lost in studying the lyrics, and it was something that I had control over. It was something that I could do that people actually acknowledged me on. I remember back in the third grade, me and my friends would sit at the very back of the bus, and the bus driver, because we were like the last stop, the bus driver would let us have our own concert in the back of the bus, and we got to just go back there and sing all the Mariah songs or sing all the Christmas songs, and we would just sing and sing and sing, and we would shout and sing so loud through the whole bus, and we didn't care. And I gave up as much as I could for music from the age of 7, 8, right in there, third grade. All my recesses, anytime after school, anytime before school, anytime I could get into that music room, I was there. They carried me through for a very long time. Very long time. I ended up getting rid of it for a while and not pursuing it because I ended up doing the mom thing and, pouring my all into my kids. And then I started getting back into it again as an adult. And I was like, hey, I do have a passion for this. I love it. I love the escape that it gives me. And as many of you know, life is full of circles and cycles. And when you have unhealed wounds and trauma, they will end up representing themselves to you until you deal with them. And because I had that childhood trauma and those childhood wounds that were never actually dealt with, they were very much covered up. I ended up in a relationship that resembled my mother and my father. And it took me a very long time to realize that pattern, unfortunately. But that did also bring me back to music. Ironic, right? Life is full of cycle and circles. So it brought me back to music. It brought me back to a place where I again could feel like I could escape and like I had a freedom in it. And then when I walked away from that relationship, finally, I said, I'm done with music too. And I don't know if it was just me being hard-headed or stubborn, or maybe it was God's way of stripping me away from everything so I could actually heal this time. But I did. If you guys know me personally, you know that for a while people would ask me, hey, you gonna sing? And I wouldn't do it. I would not. I would not go up on stage and sing. I would not sing karaoke. I wouldn't even sing in my car. I would not sing. I wouldn't touch it. And glory be to God that He is so gracious and gave me the strength and courage to get back into singing again and finding the joy in the music and finding the freedom in the music and finding the heart in the music and finding music that glorifies Him above all else, and being able to get back into music and use it as a tool to lead people into His throne room. I'm to a point again where I would give up my anything to be able to sing, to be able to write, and to be able to impact people. If it's through music, if it's through podcasting, if it's through writing books, if it's through my courses that I do virtually, if it's through anything, I'm just at that point again where I want to give other people the freedom and the joy and the healing that I've graciously been given, and help people with the tools that I've been given and the things that I've learned. I don't think I'll ever walk away from music now. I don't, my view on it, my vision with it is a lot different. I think, when I was younger and even 5 years ago, the goal was I wanted to be known for singing, and I wanted to be known for writing music. I wanted to be the person who was getting the attention, and that has changed, and the tool and the gift that God gave me is being used in a different way now. And I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited that I can take something that I've found a passion for and found healing in, and really be able to use that to help others do the same thing. And so I guess my point to this is, if God has given you a gift or a talent and a passion, like you would just do it for free, like you just love it so much, whatever it is, don't ever let anybody steal that from you. Don't ever let anybody tear you down and make you feel like you're not worthy or not good enough in doing that. That was God's gift to you to use. So ask Him how to use it, and then let Him lift you up and edify you, and let Him bring you up so you will give Him the glory. And I promise you, you will find so much joy in that.